So for this program, just wanted to get you started on program 9. So you'll be using this as an example program, and this is adapted from your textbook with some changes to it. So when you run this program, it's going to ask you for some integer values. And then you just type in a non-integer character, and that'll cause an error. And in the CN, and then it's checking to find an error in CN. Once it finds the error in CN, then it'll go through and sort your list. So just a couple things that I wanted to point out with this is the use of the list class, and you can see the #include list up here. Make sure that you go back and watch the videos on linked lists, kind of what they are and how they work. You can also see this iterator that's being created, so pay attention carefully to the syntax with the iterator. It's a little bit different looking, so it's std : list, then the type of list, then : iterator, then the name of the iterator. The iterator is an internal pointer specific to the list class. Then we're moving the iterator to the beginning. Here's our while loop. We're using a function, a member function of the list class, this insert, to insert values. There was a problem with the code in the book as written on some systems, so I changed it a little bit to make it a little more robust here. And then notice, since this is a linked list, you cannot use the sort out of the algorithm sort. You have to use the sort member function of linked list. So it's your list name dot sort. So when you get this program, the parts that you're going to need to immediately change are this part here, so that it reads from a file instead of reading from the keyboard entry. But make sure that you run it and you've got it working well with the way it's already written. Then after you have it working with reading in from your file, then try going down here and changing it so that it's printing out to a file. Note that this is a ranged-based for loop. You can see above it I've got a version that's iterator-based for loop, using the iterator to print out the list. When you're working on this program, try and uncomment that one and try and comment out this one and see if it still works. Oops, I forgot to comment that part out. Notice that it's no longer going to accept this output this way, but what you can do is you can use the iterator with the dereference operator, the asterisk, to cause it to print out. So try those two different for loops and see which one you like better. This first one is going through and setting the iterator to each value in the array. So it's starting the iterator at the beginning, running until it's at the end, and incrementing the iterator each time. Let me comment that one back out. The range-based for loop, you can use int, or you can even use the keyword auto. Auto will go and look and see what type the list is, and then it'll set the correct type based on the type of the list. And then I takes on each value of the element inside whatever it is that you're ranging over. So typically a list or a vector or an array. So when you print it out, you just print I. So it's a little bit different because you might be used to doing a list and then the square brackets with I in there, but it really is just I in this case. So you can see it works either way. So play around with that, make sure that you understand that, and then you can go ahead and start changing both of these two loops, one so that this inputs from a file and this one so that it outputs from a file. Don't forget you're going to have to go back and add the #include fstream, and then you'll have to include the IF stream up here and the OF stream up here and link them to the files, either when you get them declared or later with a .open statement. Once you get this program working, then try and convert it from, make sure you save a copy of it and save the output, because you'll need to submit that. Then try going back and converting it to do exactly the same thing but with vector. So my point with this one is you've got linked lists and you've got vectors, and you can do kind of similar things with them. So let's look at the differences between these two tools. And I think the videos earlier in the module will help you kind of decide on the pros and cons of linked lists versus vectors. Thanks for watching.